We did talk to the Gender Advisor, Office of the President. We go talk about the outcome of the 16 days of activism and waiting next. For sake of that, I want for welcome Asasa Jabi Kabba na the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning. Good morning, listeners.
And also na the program, I want to welcome Charles Mambu, Health for All Coalition. And today they talk on the implementation and popularization of the Nicotine and Tobacco Act 2022. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, people there.
Okay, continue for stay with me inside the program. We come to you shortly. They come to IG Kabba. We are the Gender Advisor, Office of the President, and also the Chairperson, Presidential Task Force on Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. Once again, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, let me look at the role, Gender Advisor and Chairperson, Presidential Task Force, Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. What are the rules?
Well, my official role, where His Excellency, the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabiu, appoint me for a Presidential Advisor on Gender. And then they simply mean the advisor on gender issues, anything we get for do with gender issues. So mean like the link between the ministry and the presidency and anything we surrounding gender issues. Now me the advisor on that. If I know, look at them critically and give me own advice. So that let me role. Then the other one we recently assume a function maybe there under His Excellency in your watch. But because you don't find out say me there and make able to handle land well, he assigned that role to me. And if you look at what's happening in the country now, the increase of sexual gender-based violence, it really don't increase, and it alarming, and it creates a lot of embarrassment, not only for His Excellency, but for the country as a whole. You now begin to see institutions like World Bank, they say, if we are not cut down on the way SGBV don't rise that the schools, will they stop funding. So you begin to see how the president they place premium on this particular issue. So he give me that job they also for overlook and oversee and work with other stakeholders, other partners, the ministries were involved, so that we go for bring this particular menace. If we're not able to eradicate and say, but minimize them.
What did they advise the presidents on gender issues?
A lot. If you look at even a lot of presidency appointments the way they do now, you need to do he must consult, say, which woman they will for put here, how many women for goodie. So now you find out, say, for every appointment His Excellency they do, one woman must do it. First, they not be the be. Then you look at even the issues of we lost them with it. Yes, we get the Kiwi Act, but get some lapses in the Kiwi Act. We also look at them lapses then they for go through them and make sure they will fine tune them so that it will fit we. We don't want to after His Excellency President Bio don't come out. Other president can want change. So one for look at all the laws that they also look at what's in the happen in the country. Not only for women the way get appointments, even the market women, even the woman the way they are the rural areas. You go for look at their needs, you go for look at their special needs, what's in their need and what's in His Excellency need for do for uplift their status, for make themselves feel say they're Sierra Leoneans. So these are all issues I can put together and sell them to them for make you look at, because in able for reach all side. But if me they work with other ministries, work with other NGOs, stakeholders, I can able for know exactly how the people in the field waiting they're supposed for know and waiting they need. So even if ministers and can go, sometimes it could be overwhelmed. I can continuously remind and say, we need for do A, B, C, D, so that we uplift the status of the woman and them picking there.
You talk about gap way they in the Kiwi Act. Waiting at some of them gap there where one thing say government need for look into back.
If you look at even some of the wordings, the lawyers then will tell you say the issue of may or shall, there's a lot of difference. Me and you go see, we not go pay attention to that. But they will tell you say one is stronger than the other. You go for look at that. Even the financial inclusion of women, we just put them there, but we not put them in details. How women go get access to loan. We not put that in details. So some of them things they will go for put all. And not forget say we don't get some new laws the way don't come. They are not part of the Kiwi. They are not part of the Kiwi. So therefore look at all the laws then we make sure say they are part of the Kiwi, so that you get a holistic document where you take them, say this, nothing the way go for do with women the issues, nothing they will not for joke with, nothing the way anybody know we can change. You grab them on one money and say no, that President Biobi thinks say 50% of the population before bring them come on board in terms of development, in terms of representation. Because if you look at them, this is not the first time that this country we don't get this large number of women in the councils. These are the first 10 in the history of this country. Don't get a large number of women as parliamentarians. Then look at the cabinet. This is not the first thing. You don't see we get large number of women also as cabinet ministers, deputy ministers, even as ambassadors. You begin for even recently, 2 weeks ago, he appointed a deputy minister when a female, Mamadi Gobe Kamara, as a deputy ambassador. So he begin for the president, you not only the talk him, he not only promise, he make sure say whatever he don't say, he they do for the woman in this country, it be reflected in we status.
Right. Now you just mentioned about appointments and other things them, and we know say these are some of the issues then we women them don't the advocates for over the past year for let women them all top position them. How you go assess the current situation of women them when it come to appointment on position them we wanna think say women them for all?
Well, I just don't talk and say this is not the first day you don't see an increase in that. Positions the way women are not been even whole in this country. Under President Bill leadership, women then get them positions there. Take for example, well, we know they say we satisfied because for far too long, they don't marginalize we for far too long with representation. I mean, just like tokenism. So even if they give we 50% now, we will say do, but you don't try. But we still want more. We are not satisfied, but at least what he say he do, he don't do and he continue for do. But all we say, as women of Sierra Leone, we want more. Because if Sierra Leone for be developed, if Sierra Leone for day will say for day, you no go afford for left the women of Sierra Leone behind. Because we work past demanding. So if now we work past demanding, now we forget plenty positions so that we go there on equal footing. So that whatever development you talk about, they only there on paper, but it don't be practical and be reflected in the status of the country.
Since you start for talk, you talk about woman appointment, you talk about woman and welfare, but when you talk about gender, it encompasses man and woman.
Of course.
What in you office they do in terms of man and your side?
Well, you said don't talk a great for roots man and woman. But when you look at the issues of this country, when you talk about especially the tax force where they had gender-based violence, 99% now woman is suffer gender-based violence. When you talk about SGBV, sexual gender-based violence, 99.9%, you hardly hear them tell you say woman don't rape man. You hardly then tell you say 90-year-old woman, 70-year-old woman don't rape 3 months old baby, 8-year-old pikin, he don't rape, I don't kill her. I'm the only woman inside here. Okay, we get one person there. Una go talk am. Una dey feel am, una dey see am every blessed day. As I sit here, the recent victim will get where a clergy tamper with the 7-year-old. You know they are the bond band. Say woman they go rape small picking them or then so that make you find out say we they spend more time, they pay attention to the woman there because now they are the victims. Now then they suffer gender-based violence. You hardly see them tell you say woman and man don't part, the woman don't seize all the money in property there. It's very rare. So now that make you see say I pay more attention to the woman side because they get issues and they get a lot of cases only for handle and then una demand they continuously violate.
All right. Even though the situation of women is very critical and we know the violence we don't happen against them over the past year, but again, if you look, even though Boku, we get man themselves we woman themselves don't they go against the right and other things that we see recently outside. One man born in man.
Yeah.
As advice on like in concern of some of the issues.
Of course, in fact, as that incident may happen, I not be the tongue, but the minister of gender swiftly go there and make sure say they see that Monday, then take up the matter. But some of the problems we they get with them here, compromise. Yeah, like that issue, then an issue we say we need to take it lightly because we want to set the brightest example on that particular woman day. Because no matter how you jealous, no matter how you angry, then they not give you the right. For look you come promote and not forget saying that your husband you even ordinary human being will not get no relationship, you not get no right for pour acid or put fire upon for burner. Then they, even if we not take action, the state they take that action day. Yeah, so they look at some of them cases that day. We got cases where the woman go put white text 9 money here. Now we self make them arrest that woman day because waiting do you not supposed to do. Not that them case they know but they're very minimal. Yeah, so they pay attention to some of them cases and the ministry and the other partners they would work with. We all they make sure to pay attention. But what I say, it's very minimal. Now very rare cases that you get. My dear, the case that would get 2 weeks ago, at Ebo, Me school I attend. A teacher, broad daylight, school hour, go sexually molest 15-year-old girl pikin. A room where they create say a counseling room for go cancel student. They begin the pass, they call and come, begin asking questions. The next minute. So you begin for see say now the woman them. So if his school not safe for pikin, school not safe for students, who's again safe for pikin in this country?
All right, before we go for a break, as you mentioned, recently back we see we are in a teacher tamper with a pikin we end up die. What's not the status of that case?
That matter they caught and we follow them up closely. We make sure say we not only we rely on waiting the lawyers that they tell we, but we make sure the ministry they send somebody every day for listen to that matter, for make sure say that matter they not tamper out, they be like the other Khadija in case. So we pay close attention to that day. And no matter what they is Excellency in heart, because it is and as what's happen to this beginning issue, they can call the law officers.
And in our studio now we don't introduce earlier Charles Mambu from Health for All Coalition. We did the program for talk on the implementation of the Nicotine and Tobacco Control Act 2022. As this act then be passed for control and regulate the production, manufacturing, importation, exportation, packaging, and labeling, advertising, and promotion of tobacco na the country. What don't happen to this act since then pass inside 2022? Make we get Charles Mambu na the program as civil society within the well body sector. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, my people, and good morning, Salon, and good morning, 98.1.
As you get from the background wagi to the Tobacco and Nicotine Control Act 2022, from that end to now, much not being heard about what thing they happened to this act and implementation.
You're quite definitely. From that time to now, the Tobacco and Nicotine Act, nobody not done a rebut. And he gets a lot of good things inside. But let me just draw the attention of the listeners that we as advocates for health and development, we always concentrate on the public health, because the public health now one of the sector down there we really deal with prevention of the diseases and sicknesses and other problems that we human beings generally we can face. And we get into the day because we can neglect with public health. And the public health in this context also they deal with who say they lay down. The room who say they lay down, the house under which you they lay down, which you they eat, how you they eat and when you they eat them, the clothes where you they wear, the office who say you they go, the streets who say you they pass, the kind of people that way they pass with. They all get big impact on public health, because if any one of them get problem, you say way in that house, who say they sleep, and the people the way they sleep with, the street who say they pass, when a public health they all go there in danger. And one of the public health areas then where the Ministry of Health and by extension the government of Australia and the World Health Organization, where every year then they report we get serious negative consequences on we development and we livelihood than the one way they deal with tobacco and nicotine. Tobacco and nicotine are chemicals there and are poison for every human being. You way the taker and the environment you say there and the person way also the nearer. So for we don't begin campaign since 2010 for the government of Australia actually bring a law where they make sure say we either eliminate or we control to a large extent the manner in which we young people then and perhaps some other ageable people then they take tobacco and nicotine at the country and perhaps the world as a large. But this campaign, after we don't do it for quite some time, the other governments then they and people then they will not be really get the attention, for support. Say yes, in spite of the fact that the WHO every year they pull report about the danger of tobacco. The tobacco get series of dangers then on human being, and it get categories then where it affects. It get on the environment, it get on the head, and it also get on the social behavior and economy itself where the government or the person where they get them. But thank God by 2019 we start the campaign again. and it be actually attract the attention of His Excellency the President, President Bio. You know, at one time when they talk to her, he say, yeah, this is a very, very important issue. And one of the directive where it be give the Minister of Health, when the current Minister, Honorable Dembe, now for make sure say this act, you know, it actually pass. And we really want to tell government of President Bio plenty thanking, because within support and directive to the Minister of Health, we able campaign for this law. It go through Parliament, and want to thank you to members of Parliament after a series of engagement with them. You know, both in and out of return, you know, bilateral engagement and others. Finally, the government, the Parliament be able to pass this into law. But anything where Parliament pass, like me and you know, it only become law and enforceable when His Excellency the President actually sign on into law. Because when he sign, now it go don't be binding on all of us. Parliament passed on in 2022. Now make what they call on the Tobacco and Nicotine Act 2022. But in 2023, with the gracious mind of the President, for save the life of more Sierra Leoneans from the tobacco and nicotine, President be able to sign on into law in 2023. However, you know, like some of we can always say, the government of Sierra Leone, past and present, and institutions that we country, they do very well in many areas. Then government they do very well. But why they draw, you know, a distance between the government and the people? Now the father, most of the law, I can tell you, I can sit on so 99% of the law where Parliament self don't pass. Some they not they sleep whole night for work on them. Most people don't know about them.
All right.
Most people they don't know about them. And the Nicotine and Tobacco and Nicotine Control Act of 2022, SSF fall within this same category. From 2022 to 2023, where President signed on, not anybody know about them. When President sign and then print and as don't show they all day na bookshop, you know, the other one they na printing, and that's not for be the mandate of them act them. They work then with government, then they do the agencies, then they do then work then they na for the people, and the people for nobody. Okay. Of course, people then can say ignorance of the law is no excuse. We agree with that. However, anything where they fall and against people by any means, the people they supposed for no. Right. So this Tobacco Act from 2023, they not popularize them, the instruments then and the content the way they we for establish that in order establish. So we head for coalition, which we partner when at the non-communicable disease directorate of Ministry of Health and other partners. We don't now take care for let everybody know. So today, we do actually formally launch the campaign for say government for now implement the content of the 2022 Tobacco and Nicotine Act. And one of the things we in the inside where we want let it be done, and if possible, let President hear this, let them do one today. And President empower the minister for one today. Then at the establishment of the Tobacco and Nicotine Control Council. The council, as established by this act, is just like a commission, you know, or a body within, where for really spearhead the implementation of this act. Where until that happen, all other provisions in this act, people they not go know better and they not go implement that.
Now,
so
Mr.
one
Mambo,
of we focus is for tell government, president in particular, for again, you know, support the Minister of Health for let them establish the council as stated in the act.
Now, as you say, most law we you know, the country can get, we find it difficult for less citizens them aware of some of the things they're within and then lawyer. Now, waiting the law say for somebody where they go catch where the smoke na public.
Yeah, no. In fact, that's why we really call for let them establish the council. The act of itself, where I get Nayaso, it get 12 parts. Then subdivide into 12 parts. You know, where because of time pass, I'm not gonna go through. The part where they talk about interpretation, the one where they establish the Nicotine and Control Council, when are the most important one, then in the part 2 of this one, where it gets so many functions and what it for do, you get the other one, of course, how the council the fund, the funding for them, the administration, the protection from involuntary exposure to smoking. Instead, this one day part 6, we get part 7 where they talk about regulation of sale and distribution of tobacco. Then we also get part 8 where they talk about regulation of advertisement, promotion, sponsorship of tobacco products and other nicotine products. We get part 9, regulation of manufacturing, importation and distribution. Then part 10, they talk about protection, tobacco control policies from commercial and other vested interests in the tobacco. Then part 11, they talk about enforcement, and part 12, of course, they talk about the areas then of miscellaneous. So now 12 different parts, but they are all very important. But all of these parts, then for let this act hold water. Part 2 of this act, number 1, where government for establish. Then at the establishment of the Tobacco and Nicotine Control Council. Because that council now in really the act, Parliament give the authority for implementing.
What's going to be the duration we then set now the act for make this council be established?
They're not put the duration. There's no duration not there. But me and you know say the sooner Parliament pass a law, the president sign it automatically from that day of signing. The mechanism, the content of that act or that document, the responsible minister, in this case the Minister of Health, when an Honorable Dembi, we work very, very hard with all of us and international partner for get this document prepared up to Parliament, up to presidency. The minister now for put a mechanism together for establish and implement this act because it don't become a law.
Now, one criticism against government now that the wage bill big and offices them plenty. Creating another council, it gets another employment where other people in the group for working at the agency. Now we get other like the NDNLA or we get the Minister of Health, we get other agencies them. Why not work within then subgroup them for implement this act?
You see, I do a document on the wage bill. I don't go far into RAM. The day where the provision, I call the press conference. I don't go far into RAM. But as a preview, I want to tell everybody, especially the politicians, when they talk about wage bill, that wage bill will continue for increase. Even after 100 years, when President Bio don't come up power. Because from Kabba it increased, to Anes it increased, to this one it increased. And there are key factors where they make the wage bill the increase.
But not a key factor.
One of the factors, we will go through the war. We go through the TRC. I was a senior member at the TRC. One of the things that we TRC come up with, now the findings of what it caused the war, and waiting for do way the war not for come again. You understand? Then waiting caused the war, and waiting for do like war not come back in Sierra Leone. You understand? Forget sustainable pay. The provisions then at the TRC. From Kabba to Anes to Bio, they follow a lot of them. And then a lot of them, it cause wage bill. Secondly, from within that, I see we see Madam Kabba when they talk about gender and one of the causes of the war where the TRC point out clearly was for neglect of youth and women. The human rights violation against women and youth. Then why are they the international people they put her? No. Before the war, you don't get money for council, don't like how Madam Kabba, you don't show. You understand? When they talk about some of them things. No. So no, just wait. So the TRC recommendations then, the findings and recommendations, it force Kabba, it force Anex, and it force Bio for make sure say they increase the wage bill by establishing more provision, commission and institution. Let me just tell you, in fact, the try-top where they do for wage bill, the portion they wait them more important after that TLC report. Now we the human rights and the civil society. Because wait, the gender activists there. because we want let government do all things for we at all time. We dey force government them, including Pakaba, per annex and per bill. We dey go force them for say, hey, you for do this, and we are almost always backed by international.
Now you don't talk about. You don't talk about.
These are very important.
We look at the.
They tell you say they do a write up on this.
Yeah, we look at that write up when he come on, but no, we look at.
No, I will
this
just give you a
council.
premise that the TRC report,
no, we look at
the human rights people, civil society, women's group, and international community, we are totally responsible for wage bill where they go up from the period of Pakaba to per annex and to per bill.
So look at
now we dey force the leader then for let them increase the wage bill by view of we advocacy. We will tell them say this now you for do. The international law say na this you for do. Oh, women they for now we get gender be there under Ministry of Social Welfare. Who that pull and they I go tell you say bill not be one plan, but because of force when the woman they force her and instead one abide by citizen they what he do? He don't pull the gender from social welfare. When you pull and then you are establishing a whole as we they talk. Look, madam, they are now campaigning for let President Bill establish a women commission like we have the children's commission. No. So all these things when we put an then president then hey, and we are their people from human rights to international. Loan and they and grants and they way international and they give. They go tell you say you for care for the women, you for care for the children, you for care for the youth. All those issues are commissions, agency. When the president election you know what you get for one. So these are some of the factors of wage bill. And wage bill will continue for increase.
Continue for stay with you. We'll come back. We'll look at the establishment of the council and what do you think say now the reasons them why we not still get the council for implement the Nicotine and Tobacco Control Act of 2022. I can tell you, IJ Kabba, the 16 days of activism just done on. How you can describe them?
Well, I would describe them as a huge success because this year we celebrate them in different ways. We make sure we visit the 16 districts in the country because we find out say most times when we get 16 days of activism we concentrate on just free time. But this year the Ministry of Gender, the UN Women and other stakeholders, we all come together and decide say we make sure say every district will get a town hall meetings where we invite stakeholders, and the one way surprise we most the mandem, the interest with the mandem show this year, the turnout of the mandem, the stakeholders, it really make we feel impressed and say the response to SGBV prevention it will hold water. Yeah, we go now all the districts them, we get big town hall meetings where we call paramount chiefs, we call the woman them, we call the youths them, we call the man them. For now we can see them, let we talk and see how best we go able for eradicate this menace so we don't become a guillotine that we neck. Because for sexual gender-based violence, it demoralize the woman, it demoralize the girl picking them. And if one forget generations where they can take after we really for don't begin protecting now. If you don't protect them now, you left them for make it feels say if I go to school now this will happen to me. If I come out, somebody will rape me, nobody not take action. And also you look at the fact that if you not talk to the perpetrators, the way we feel saying that they do them here, we sit down we and then dialogue and map out strategies how for prevent and respond to SGBV cases. It will be difficult. So this year it was a huge success. Yeah, because everybody we partners, development partners, they come in, the ministries, everybody shows say, and that's what we expect because we want community ownership of this response program. What they do, okay. And if you don't involve the community, the local people, for let them sit down. Some of them don't even know what's in the happen. They don't even know say if you rape small picking, these are the dangers we involve. If you tamp out, say you sexually molest her, or you beat woman, you do this to her, these are the dangers we involve. Some of them don't know. So we been get calls for go sit down and discuss them with them. And most of the we involve paramount chiefs. Now they with them people, the local authorities, now they with them people. They're able for explain to them people better, for make them understand the repercussions of whatever you get for do, and for make them know say this one particular how would they do so. Now we want to make the community involved, the local people involved, so that me not going for commander for go tell somebody now Jalo and say this gender-based violence and this could happen to you. But if you don't equip the community, you don't give them the laws, you don't explain to them, you don't tell them, then you're able for that even if you not did it.
All right, as you mentioned, say this year 16 days of activism, now a huge success. We are on a go now all 16 districts, them talk to community people. But again, waiting them people there, me tell you now, waiting are some of the causes we can happen, we make some of the issues that happen in the community we get for do with sexual gender-based violence?
Well, some of them they complain about the judiciary. Then they say most times if then cases here happen, then bring and come to court from the police where they come in contact with to the Kana court, they didn't get justice. So because of that, some of them can just resign to their faith. Yeah, and the cost involved. We not get one-stop centers na all the districts them. Rainbow not in all the districts them. So when then TRK happen, for example, in some villages the way it happen, they don't even get transportation means of transport for can report. They not get nobody for getting the cost because for like come on that particular point for can, no money involved. So all the issues that they raise them with we. Yeah, and some of them believe say, yes, His Excellency don't make pronouncements. Yes, His Excellency don't put a lot of laws there for protecting a woman and girl picking there. But then believe say some draconian measures then get for up. If I one man intimate now one district talk say, he said the president for reintroduce the death penalty for a rape. He said because the rates are suggesting they go now, if they not begin tackle and that way they people not go stop. We also see say compromise, and once you make the compromise they can na poverty. Because if they don't go tamper with 11-year-old picking, you don't get money for Kana police. You can't police and go for ask you say bring pay for paper, pay for this, or pay buy fuel for the bike for go arrest the person. So say by the time they go the Euro go on Monday, they left the person go scot free. Like we get one issue that put you now. A clerical tamper, you don't tamper, it's almost like 5 picking. From it take cooler say they go use the bathroom. We don't run away go sit on a library. So you begin for see some of them here. Then make I'm sure the vice president will talk about and then this year. And that make we don't see. We won't forget a master plan. If we not build the capacity of people who get for deal with the gender-based violence here, one the police, the health sector, and the community people, and make them know say if somebody tamper with small picking, we not even for let you not tamper with the evidence. We not what sound, we not do this. We not bring a can straight now one rainbow center. But again, they not get the idea. They don't know. So now that make we do this 16 days of activism. And as I say, this is not just one we don't do. Now the master plan or the plan for put together. We they make sure say every district where we go, every chiefdom, they get a community committee where they just for gender be SGBV. So that way happen from the paramount chief because they can also complain say when anything happen, the chiefs they can interfere with the case. They can say no, Lord talk alone no go embarrass the person. It happened to we now Kailan. Yeah. In fact Kailan we don't get a lot of cases where most times the chiefs they can say no, then they tell you if you go court or you go police, they go ostracize you, they go do this and go. So most of the evidence they need to come.
All right. Now, you an advisor to the president. What thing you go advise the president on issues where you just mentioned we get for do with challenges on the fight against sexual gender-based violence?
One of the advice I go give and I don't already tell them, I don't do it right up, I don't send them to them. One, now for make them do national master plan for SGBV. Most people, as I say, they don't even know the procedures. They don't even know. Say where somebody tamper with a 15-year-old picky if I can't go police. They don't know. So we don't advise His Excellency say let them allow we do a national master plan where every chiefdom, every district, you they get a committee they were responsible for gender-based violence prevention. Because again, if you know one person this thing happen to, you don't get a community support. Yeah, you don't get people who can support you and say no, this will not happen to you because so not to you no more. We always support you now for this case can go to this particular level. One can go hospital, can go police, they bring the matter come for let get justice. So if you don't get that kind community ownership, you don't get that kind community people there for day together. So that make they go down there from the police officer where they we make sure that the Sowe Council, we make sure that the nurses, the local authorities will put them together as one big committee where go day for help victims and where go day for pursue perpetrators.
Charles Mambu, earlier will come to you. We will emphasize the need for the council where get for implement this law. Since then passed in 2022, this now 2024, almost they go to 2025. What do you think say now the delay for make the council or government set up this council?
Yeah, well, I you know, it's just human thought. Whether the president and the minister go say will not get the money aid for setting up, you know, or will not get the people they aid way for man, you know, for instance, you have the chairman, you know, this can just be anybody's guess. But we know for the point of health and development, we want to move away from that. Now that's make now we don't they launch the campaign. We don't start a month ago and so, and we really clearly even today we don't write to the minister Honorable Dembe, Austin Dembe, for letting actually can do the launching, because we feel say the more delay what government they do, that can also be interpreted as waste of government resources. The time where the minister and the Minister of Health then take, the time where the law officers then take, and above all, the time where Parliament self then take, and the commitment where the honorable members of Parliament then show, because this acts tobacco and nicotine, like you all they see, we see the number of our young men and women whether they die out of kush, then drugs and whether they take. The time where they take for pass this bill into law, and where President sign, we feel say by this time now, if we don't do all over this country, the mechanisms if we don't set. But unfortunately, that has happened, and that make with the advocate, with the appeal to them that this component for really be done. And the minister now for engage with the president for let them establish the control council, the tobacco and nicotine control, because tobacco issue, like I tell them, my brother, then now probicate. The president want provide a healthy environment for Sierra Leone, and one of those healthy environment is the control of tobacco use. This is very important. Tobacco get health risks on everybody. Tobacco get environmental risks. Tobacco get economic risks. I don't talk on plenty meetings, local, international, that if the government only spend, few. Less than 50% of the budget on probicate related issue. This expenditure where they do for upgrade the hospital, it will be less by another 50%.
Mr.
Because
Mambu,
all his sicknesses.
Mr. Mambu, it seems as if like the council na in the bottleneck. Waiting will be the core function when they set up, and waiting will be the
council na in the driver for the implementation of this act.
So without them, nothing not go on.
No, without them, nothing not run. Without it, nothing not run. Nothing so far, because this is really stated in part 2. Because one of the key functions of the council now for makes let the people they aware of the existence of the Tobacco and Control Act.
As part of our advocacy, what's our next move for ensuring the council established?
Yeah, well, we hope the minister will attend the meeting today. Na Friton here, we're at the Civil Service Training Center. Then immediately after this, of course we don't begin. Like I said, we don't depend this thing from 2010. 2019 president, get wing of an and taken. And that kind manner where president be all taken and direct the minister. We are very, very happy, and we want to continue for commending and the honorable members of Parliament. So we now say let this thing not stop, because plenty good things then from government, from Parliament, and all that don't they happen. Okay. But people they don't know about that. You understand? So we really they continue for constructive engage them and talk to them. Please, Mr. President, government, Mr. Minister, will not establish the council, because this council now in the secretariat and the driver for the implementation of the Tobacco and Nicotine Control Act.
We look at few text messages them inside the program. Good morning, Salon Osman.
This one I would take, you say, out of experience, 90% of man death is caused by women because of their pressure and arrogance. It come out from King Solo.
This one from Mactena, New England Village, say this is really sad for Sierra Leone, as a neighboring country of the Guinean government should remember that they have their own people in Sierra Leone. Don't forget it was Guinean. Okay.
This other one I go take for now. We say the Milton Magai Technical University is one of the best in designing college certificate, which might be very difficult for any IT specialist to play with. Good goes to the administration of the university for that. It come out from Peter Lansana, Faro Surugbema Chiefdom, Pujon District.
This one from Mark 10 and New England Ville. He says, I suggest Office of the First Lady also focus on other progressive laws such as the Domestic Violence Act 2007, Sexual Offense Act 2012 amended in 2019, and the Customary Marriage and Divorce Act 2019. Their legal measures will reflect Sierra Leone's holistic approach to promoting women's rights and addressing gender disparities.
This other one from Ibrahim Sorijalo say, these 99.9% quoted by IJ statistically proven? If so, what is her reference source for the statistics?
This one from Thomas Rogers now on Facebook. He said, good morning 98.1. While I appreciate the work of Madam IJ Kabba, I believe that the male folks should also be on board in the campaign. The male or boy needs more supports.
This other one say, Mr. Mambo, waiting at the penalty if somebody smokes cigarettes or jambana treat.
This one from Mystic Nadwazak. They say Tobacco and Nicotine Act of 2022 should be massively popularized at the community level so that more awareness needs to be done, because many Sierra Leoneans and non-Sierra Leoneans are doing public smoking without any knowledge about the Tobacco and Nicotine Acts.
The last one I go take from now is say, to be honest, the current Guinean authorities are not treating Sierra Leonean with respect. As a neighboring country, there should be a bilateral dialogue. It is really unfortunate to see our Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters to be treated in such disrespectful manner by the Guinean authorities.
This one says Sierra Leone's problem is based on monitoring, and that tobacco smoking in public is on a basis. This now from Kinsolo now we 0779819819.
Alright, these are some of the messages that will go inside the program. IJ?
Thank you. I want to say thank you to all the texters. Somebody they ask, say, what's in my reference point? Now, let the person not forget, say, we work with Rainbow, we work with FSU, and across the country. So from there, you get all the data. And each time we meetings, we meet twice a month. Rainbow, they present their data, and not forget, say, Rainbow in all the districts them. Then even the gender ministry, social welfare. So we get all them data then if you look at them data, the most times when you do presentation, they get all the information, they see, they did it clearly. So that's me reference points now from Rainbow and all them data they do they collect. And the other issue, we know somebody saying that because the woman they're arrogant. For goodness sake, you get arrogant man there also. But that no means say you for violate that person they in right. Yeah? There are many ways we go able for bring somebody let you realize a mistake without you not violate them. And also because of somebody in arrogance make you to go sexually molest them. Waiting 15-year-old pick or pick waiting at diaper, which arrogance now they get? You don't even know waiting they happen. So for me, I think saying a psychopath that nobody think that way. Yeah.
Now, okay. Now the 16 days of activism don't end, but different organizations then be the campaign for different things. We get the PAHA, whether the People Alliance for Reproductive Health, being the advocates for the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Health Bill. We this na bill we then the advocates for making pass na parliament, but the public get perception say this na been the abortion bill we President Kurman not been signed. Amongst this advocacy for or against, if this bill did a President Bill in table asking for advice, whose advice you go give?
I go advise His Excellency, of course, na possible they read, na possible they pay attention, na a listening president. Me go advise and say, we look at the bill critically. Anything where they in the interest of Sierra Leoneans, na President Bill go do. So we will look at the bill, weigh the consequences, look at waiting day the way go benefit the women of Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone. I go advise and for make we do am. But if you look at them, we feel say things then they will for amend, we will fine tune. We also look at the bill critically and do that.
All right. Plenty thank we join inside the program. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. According to this act, we really now part 4. Now then place then call then talk say nobody not for smoke. And if it is smoke day, if you go 10 meters away from them public building, first for smoke na office and other workplace, for smoke na court or factory, na hospital or clinic. You also not for smoke na lift where they go up, for smoke na cinema hall or theater or video center, for smoke na restaurants, hotel or other eating places. For smoke outside picking and day, neither you send picking for go buy or even sell cigarette or any form of nicotine. Places of worship, be the church and the mosques, for smoke day, correctional center, for smoke day. This issue of correctional center and police station, now they said, for smoke, now Mobroka ignite a lot of debate. Some people they say you get more cigarettes in correctional centers and some cells then pass the one that way then this way then also for also smoke inside motorcar, outside the airport day, outside ship day, educational facility, outside schools and day. Just with my brother, outside schools and day
Mambu,
and other education.
We not get better time again. It don't seem for start the popularization before the council they establish. But anyway, what is going to be your message to the authorities them way concerned for the establishment of the council as you don't emphasize how important it is?
Tobacco and nicotine are public health hazard where it don't kill plenty people then, especially picking and women then, than the world, including Sierra Leone. As you see, we still the fight for eradicate and totally eliminate the issue of kush and other drugs, and they fall within this category. So me humble appeal to His Excellency the President, and I'm sure President Don Yeri and the one way Don Yeri today, this morning with President Yeri, I advise ourselves Yeri because tobacco smoking among women, where would they give a statistic? It don't destroy women then and picking them than even man then. And I'm sure when Madam Kabba the Tomoya and go talk, he go tell President Biose, Mabu don't talk medical doctor, you see, he don't tell you what he did at the act. So do you allow to do what that good pet when you be get, for make sure say you sign this law into this act into law in 2023. Use the same zeal for protect and promote. Look, the GBV they talk about the issue of tobacco is more dangerous, and the GBV, tobacco and nicotine, that one of the leading factors where they cause gender-based violence. Now anywhere in the world, including Sierra Leone, it's one big factor. So if we address tobacco and nicotine issue in Sierra Leone, and they tell you say we go there on point for address a lot of issues because most of them violence where we don't see, where it don't happen. Now out of either the man they take drugs, the woman they say they take drugs, or other frustration where they also caused by them dangerous drugs the way they take. And as president they protect them while I do with the talk to her and the Minister of Health for let them without further delay establish the tobacco and nicotine control council.
All right, Mr. Mambu, plenty thank you. This sounds like advocacy now direct to the gender advisor, the studio. Plenty thank you for we joining us at the edition of the program. Good morning, Saloon. In name now Charles Mambu. He come out from Health for All Coalition. They talk about the implementation and popularization of the Tobacco and Nicotine Control Act 2022, and a call on government for set up the council. We go ensure say them establish and implement the provisions them within inside this act. And earlier also we don't talk to the gender advisor, Office of the President and Chairperson Presidential Task Force on Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. We now Kabba. Plenty thank you for una joining inside the edition of the program. Good morning, Saloon.
When I we could go the cutting of the program. Good morning, Saloon. Welcome to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM.